If you want to look at it again, you're welcome to it. It was published in the '93 Cambridge Companion to Hegel. If you don't mind my saying, I don't know why it waited for some graduate student in Madison, Wisconsin to make this diagram. Right? I'm working with the same published text everybody else has had since 1820, but somehow nobody bothered. But there it is, right? I mean, this is an institutional analysis of a constitution. And frankly, a damn good one. And the whole purpose is to make sure that every region, every major institution, right, incorporated townships, churches, schools, and every branch of the economy is directly represented in the legislative body via corporate representation. All right. No, of course he opposes open democratic elections by district. Why? Because then, as he says, you split political life off from the life of the community, the political economy. So of course you get stupid decisions in the ballot box and voter indifference because one vote doesn't make much difference out of how many? But Hegel's argued for universal right to political representation. He doesn't put it in bold red ink and great capitals at that point, but that's what he's argued for. And he understands why, because he knows very well that what happens if you've got democratic procedures but no robust republic, you wind up with tyranny of the majority, demagoguery, and other disasters I'm watching around me in Istanbul and watching from a still painful distance in my own so-called homeland. So when I mentioned the right of every newborn and youth to a proper education, the office of citizen, one fundamental aim of that education, I think, can be explicated in these terms as mature judgment. And I take it it's pretty obvious how this is part of a very old tradition in thinking about liberal arts. I also know what's happened to education systems across the Occident that have led them to thwart rather than promote this kind of education. I was lucky. I got it in high school, second week. I've been trying to teach it to my students ever since. And I'm now teaching it in Istanbul. And it still works. I will also admit that I was prompted actually to write this explication after a particularly frustrating department meeting, this is years ago, in which mature judgment was conspicuous by its absence. It really is quite remarkable how distributive intelligence could sit down at a committee meeting and generate collective idiocy. But I know it happens lots and lots and lots, and it's frightening. And I think I should just leave it there. I mean, obviously I've omitted some pieces from the paper. You've got the paper. You may read the rest if you wish. I'd rather not subject you to the bits and pieces that would now be a bit random. But I think I've given enough to suggest how Hegel's coming out with as strong a defense of the Republican right to justification and to non-domination as I think is possible. All right, if somebody's got a better argument, I'd sure like to see it, but I don't know how to make it any more basic or emphatic or clearly articulated than this, which is why I am here to say, to the best of my judgment and information and abilities, these conclusions about justice and about rational justification and human rights are justified